the believers have their trust. So the main thing, number one, is to have trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, that trust is demonstrated through a number of subsidiary elements, and that is, for example, yaqeen and sabr and belief in qadr. So yaqeen and sabr and belief in qadr all come together. Yaqeen means that we need to have that certainty that the promise of Allah is true. And yaqeen, of course, is a subsidiary of iman. If you have iman, you have yaqeen. And sabr. Sabr means, we all know, that we understand we might have to sacrifice, we might have to bear some pain and suffering. But throughout that pain and suffering, we're going to have to remain composed. Our dignity must always, always be paramount. We have to say only what Allah Azza wa Jalla is pleased with. We have to act in accordance with the Sharia, no matter how angry we are. Sabr means, the problem of sabr is that sabr means you don't do what you want to do. That's what sabr means. Sabr means you put yourself back. You keep yourself in check. You want to say something. You want to do something. The situation might even warrant it anger-wise. Sabr says, no, hold back. Keep yourself in check. And of course, belief in qadr is a fundamental pillar of our iman. We are not Muslims if we don't believe in qadr. And what does the hadith of Jibreel say? وَتُؤْمِنُ بِالْقَدَرِ خَيْرِهِ وَشَرِّهِ وَحُلْوِهِ وَمُرِّهِ. You believe in qadr, the good and the bad, the sweet and the bitter. Because qadr sometimes is bitter, sometimes it's difficult, but you have to believe in it. And belief in it means, as we said in the khutbah before, to know that Allah has a plan, to know there's a wisdom and a reason for all that is happening. You have to believe in the qadr even if it's bitter, even if the fruits of the results of what you wanted are contrary to what you expected. Khair, okay, qaddar Allah wa ma sha'a fa'al. Whatever Allah Azza wa Jal decrees and whatever He wills will happen. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. To Allah we belong, to Him we shall return. So the belief in qadr calms us down. Belief in qadr makes us realize nothing happens except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed it to happen. And of the things we should do in response to any calamity is to expect Allah's reward for any pain and suffering. And there will be pain and suffering. Look, there's no point sugarcoating it, right? The reality is pain and suffering hurts. The reality is there are calamities. And that those calamities affect me and my children and you and your children. So we have to turn to Allah and expect. The Arabic is ihtisab. The Arabic is you expect the reward from Allah. And that will calm us down, because we will be paid by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by something more precious than money. We will get something that is more important than money, and that is His ridwan and His pleasure. And the last point that I'll mention for this khutbah, for the first part of the khutbah, is of the ways we respond to calamities and evil, is the realization and the necessity that we cannot afford to live without a healthy relationship with Allah. The only way we will calm ourselves down and overcome each and every calamity, the only way we will manage to be sane in this very insane world, is to have that strong relationship with Allah. Wallahi, brothers and sisters, I sometimes wonder how people who don't have religion even live, how people who don't believe in God even function. Because it's what keeps me sane. It's what keeps me normal. How can you possibly live when you don't have a higher purpose in life? Belief in Allah, belief in religion, it makes things so much more clear. It makes you calm and comforted. It is a reality of iman in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And having that relationship with Allah makes every problem of this world manageable. As one of the scholars of the past said, he who has Allah has everything, and he who doesn't have Allah has nothing. Wallahi, if we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and that relationship with Allah, then each and every calamity is surmountable. Each and every musibah is simply one more thing that we have to do in order to come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know that Allah has told us in the Quran, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah will never place a burden on us more than what we can bear. So any burden that I am currently undergoing and you are currently undergoing, realize Allah has given us a burden that He knows we have the power to withstand and hold up to. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعني وإياكم بما فيه من الآيات والذكر الحكيم. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. And can I ask the brothers to move